Welcome to the Advertising Forum. This is episode 4 of our series, The New Rules of Streaming, which is sponsored by Philo.
Today we have Reed Barker, head of advertising from Philo. He's with us today to chat about the new rules of streaming. Reed, I'm excited to have you with us. Welcome to the Advertising Forum.
Not more excited than me.
We are excited. We're ready to rock and roll. I don't know if you can tell. There's excitement just coming through the screen.
There is a likely chance that we will laugh more during this episode than most. So I want to just call that out ahead of time.
Where's the beret?
And it's back in the secondhand store.
Amazing. Reed, streaming has been hot. Live in particular has been very, very hot. I know you guys are focused on live events and sports. Philo has really taken a different approach. Can you just give me a little bit of a background as to what Philo's audience looks like and the strategy that drives Philo in the market?
Yeah, sports are great. I mean, go Dogs. I mean, I love it. And so are events. But, the vast majority of watching on television is watching just content. So we had this idea, we launched about almost 8 years ago now, really to find an affordable space where audiences who wanted to find, lifestyle and entertainment content could go. And and find that without having to pay for the price of sports all the time. And, we see that our active users are watching Philo like television. They're watching, on the biggest screen in the house over 3 hours a day, and most of it on the linear live side. And so we've built on that strategy over the last year. We've launched, I think, over 100 fast channels, and those are also built on entertainment and lifestyle so that people can actually come into Philo without a subscription and watch content and get a taste of what we offer. Or people who have, subscribe and decide, I want to watch the NFL, so I'm going to go to another service for a while. They can still come back and watch, old past seasons of what they're doing or similar content. And one of the things that I think distinguishes us in the fast space is we don't treat fast just like fast. We also give you the option to start over from the beginning of the program for most content or, to DVR content. So we think there's a place for people who really just want to watch entertainment and lifestyle television.
Reed, you mentioned prior to recording that Philo is nimble. And with streaming moving so fast and growing at such an incredible rate, why do you feel that Philo in particular's superpower is being nimble?
Well, there's a couple of things that we have. One is, we're still small, at least from, a company size, but we're also independent, which gives us the ability to do things without having to go through layers and layers of approval. We built our own proprietary tech stack. That means we can make rapid improvements to, all of the apps. So any new features on discovery recommendation, all of those, come about pretty quickly. And on the ad side, it's allowed us to really lean into our SSP and DSP partners and have the conversations with them about their product roadmaps, about what they're building, and then participate and contribute in like alpha and beta versions of their new features. So it's really helped us, maintain our edge because we're trying to be part of the entire conversation.
So, Reed, what's been most surprising about building and monetizing a streaming platform in 2025? Especially from our last conversation that we had a few months ago on the rooftop in Cannes. You guys have been doing some very cool things.
Yeah, I think, if you look back at 2017 when we launched, Amazon Prime Video and Netflix weren't advertising. Traditional cable was, while we took the traditional cable feeds, it was still mostly national broadcast ads with 2 minutes for the local guys to sort of do geographically, targeted ads. And, we decided to lean in heavily to programmatic. So, we didn't have a direct sales force, didn't inherit one, didn't really want to buy one, or I guess rent one. How do you, when you have employees, I don't know what you do, employ them. So, we went the full addressable route. And so that meant that we were selling audiences, not necessarily content. So fast forward to today, there's so much content that's being viewed on streaming services in an advertising supported way that's addressable based on the household. So now people have moved from, direct sales teams and heavy upfronts to programmatic. So everybody's playing in a lot of the same space that we've been playing in. So everybody's basically fishing in our pond. So that has changed the game incredibly, which means that we have to be on our toes. We have to innovate where we can. We have to make sure that everything we do is looking ahead and looking forward, because the ground continually shifts underneath us.
Well, and as the ground continuously is shifting underneath us, something that is very important to you and your team, just you guys have amazing partners across the board, just thinking through just the first 3 episodes of this series about the new rules of streaming. But how do you prioritize these partnerships across content, tech, ad ops, measurement?
Well, it's, we listen. We really try to spend a lot of time. We talk about discussions, but discussions aren't one way and partnerships aren't one way. So we really try to base all of our roadmap decisions of what we're building based on what we're hearing from the demand community. So it means, which identifiers we should launch, which contextual solutions should we adopt, which new ad format should we support, a lot of those are really, really cool, but we look like who's actually putting money behind them. And that benefits us and also benefits our partners on the SSPs and DSP side, because if advertisers are wanting something, if they need somebody to deliver it. So we're there to deliver that, and that the other thing is the big secret about programmatic advertising is that it's not just machines talking to machines. You have to pay attention. That means that every morning when we get up and all through the day, our folks are looking to see, did the response rates change from one partner to another? What's happening with CPMs? I'm looking at it on a deal by deal basis. So it's about people. It's still about people. It's still about listening. And sometimes it's about watching and seeing what's happening on a day-to-day basis. And, the best partners we have are the ones that really want to sit down and discuss their pain points with us, and work on solutions to those. And we love those candid conversations, even if they're saying something that we're doing that they don't think is right. So those brainstorming sessions are amazing. I don't think anyone loves a whiteboard as much as I do, probably in an unhealthy way. But, we just want to make sure we're coming up with new ideas, and that, we're curious. And I love curious people. And so that means that it's fun.
All right. So you just mentioned 2 of my favorite things, curiosity and fun. So with that, what's the one rule of streaming success that just hasn't changed at this point, Reed? And also, in your opinion, it likely never will.
It's about content. It is about consumers wanting to watch content. And in streaming, that means that consumers need to have it simple. They need to be able to find what they want to watch when they want to watch it. I think the number 2 show on Netflix is people looking for something to watch on Netflix. We spend a lot of time looking at how long it takes someone to, when they open the app, to start watching a piece of content. Also, like, how quickly does it go from when you actually hit, the button to watch something for that, the video to appear on the screen. And I mean, for the business, it's still keeping our eyes open on all those things. You're watching, how are consumers consuming the content and consuming television to make sure that we're meeting those needs. We're also looking at what our competitors are doing. Do they have a great idea or do they have a horrible idea? Let's make sure to figure out where we should play there. But the biggest thing that hasn't changed, and I've been working in television for a long time, is that television is crazy, it's stressful, and it's never boring. And, that is where I want to be. And somehow I'm in the middle of it.
Reed, you mentioned so much in that last portion, the focus on your viewers, the focus on making that content available to them, the fact that everybody that works in TV is crazy. I feel like you nailed all 3 of the industry in one sentence.
I didn't think everyone was crazy. Just be sure, anybody I work for, they're not crazy. They're very sane.
We'll exclude them from the group.
Yeah.
Reed, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for sponsoring this series, The New Rules of Streaming. We look forward to working with you again in the future, and I wish you and the team at Philo the best of luck moving into the 4th quarter.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Reed.